Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Mid-Atlantic Modeling League's Chaos Cup. We're in week number 2, game 2 of our triple header tonight. And what we've got for you next is Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan versus Goodest Boys Strike Back, Venger versus Old Gamer Mike, Humans versus Necro. Let's take a look at these standings before we take a look at the two teams. In Division A, Ajax is the Fishy Fiends, currently in first place. The Chaos Renegades teams, they are 2-0-0 so far in this competition. They are followed by Galeshi's The Birds of Feather. They're in second place. An Elven Union team, 1-1-0 is their record. And BB Nuts, Bolieve Broncos, they've yet to play in week 2. They're a Nurgle team. They are 1-0-0. We just saw the Dream of Wish Foundation draw again. We just saw the Dream of Wish Foundation draw against the Conspicuous Disunion earlier this evening. In first place is Spire's Philosopher's Song, a Lizard team. They are 1-0-0. Cobblestorm's Gonner Gets, a Goblin team, 1-0-0 is their record. Nest Beavers, Woodmen and Iron Trees in second place. They're a Wood Elf team, 1-0-0, tied for second place with the Gonner Gets. Game 2 this evening sees us in Division C. In first place is Odin It's Snuffle, Clyphis' Norse team. They are 1-0-0. Doug the Minotaurs, Dinnerbell Darlings tied for first place. They're a Dwarven team, 1-0-0 is their record. Concill's Entanglements are in third place. They're an Imperial Nobility team, 1-0-0 is their record. Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan and the Goodest Boys Strike Back, each looking for their first win in this competition. Plenty of weeks to go. This will be a good place to start get the ball rolling, getting those points, climbing the ladder. First up, we're going to take a look at the home team. Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan, this human team, coming in a TV of 905,000 gold. They have 12 players on the roster, but 2 will not be starting this evening. Cubic Zirconia out with an injury, as is Instant Potatoes, the number 9 human lineman. They have an Ogre, a Thrower. They have all 4 catchers on the roster. They have one of the 4 blitzers they can have. They have a halfling in Nathan, and then a handful, not even a handful, a couple of human linemen as well. 1 oppo, 1 cheerleader, 2 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. They're going to be up against this Necro team. The Goodest Boys Strike Back. They're coming in a TV of 960,000 gold. They have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 players on the roster, -1. Nice Biscuits will not be participating, or will not be starting this evening due to an injury. That means that just 5K will be going back to the human team. Nothing you can do with that, so nothing happening in the inducement phase. They have the Werewolf, 2 Flesh Golems, 2 Wraiths, 1 of the Ghoul Runners, and a bunch of Zombos, 5 dedicated fans, 2 rerolls. How are these two teams going to play? Let's take a look at the visiting team first, the Necro team. They're a pretty solid roster right out of the box, right at TV 1 million. They have these Werewolves. We saw a Necro team earlier this evening. The Werewolves, very, very good piece. MA 8, Strength 3, Edge 3+, Passing 4+, AV 9+, pretty standard across the board, except they're very fast with that 8 MA. They also have Claws. That means they treat everybody's armor as if it's 8+ and Frenzy. So they're getting those 4 die blocks. If they're lucky, 6 die blocks with Claw. They're going to try to get that knockdown, try to get the removal. They're very, very scary. They can surf off the sidelines as well, so you have to be careful not to put players within 2 spaces of a sideline where a Werewolf can get you, because you might very well find yourself getting surfed. The 2 Flesh Golems, they have Stand Firm and Strength of 4, not bad at all. The 2 Wraiths have Block and Sidestep. They have Foul Appearance. We saw that trigger earlier this evening. That is a trait where an opposing player who wants to block one of these Wraiths has to roll a d6 first, and on a 1, they will just refuse to. So that could be a real nuisance. They don't have any hands, so they can't be ball carriers. The 2 ball carriers on this roster are the Werewolf and the Ghoul Runner, and you can bet that the human team is going to be watching out for those 2 players, and they want to remove those 2 players specifically. If they can do that, they're in great shape for the game. The zombies, very cheap, very slow. They are cannon fodder. They are player fodder. They're there to take hits. They're there to take marks, and they have regen, so maybe you keep them, maybe you don't, but you also get free linemen when you kill certain players. So a very gold efficient team. They have a lot of control skills. They have very good ball carriers, but at low TV they only have a couple of them. There's just 2 on this roster, so you can bet that those are going to be the targets for this human team tonight. Remember, the Ghoul Runner only has an AV of 8+. The human team, my favorite team in the game of Blood Bowl. These are the jacks of all trades, masters of none. They can go up against any team, and they have a plan against them, right? They do a little bit of everything, And because of that, they don't do they don't excel in any one thing, but they have options in everything. So up against this Necro team, right? They've got a little bit of speed, they got a little bit of strength. Well, look at this roster here. You have a werewolf with MA8? Fine. I have 4 catchers with MA8. They have the catch skill as well. They also have the dodge skill. Give me a break. You can take 4 blitzers on this roster. 4 blitzers with MA7 and the block skill, right, as blitzers. They have the thrower. You can throw the ball. They have a big guy with mighty blow and strength of 5. Right? You have lots of options with these players, and now in this version of the rules, you even have halflings. So you can take an ogre, you can take a halfling, you can one-turn touchdown with it. It's a lot of fun. I love humans. The problem with humans is that as TV increases, the teams that specialize in something out-specialize the humans. So their specializations, they get so much better at that than the humans get better at being general purpose, that they just sort of get outclassed by everyone. So they're at their strongest at low TV. I personally think humans have their best chance at making the Blood Bowl or making the cut early in the season at low TV. I think that's when they're strongest. You can see Wenger went for 4 catchers instead of 4 blitzers. That's a lot of speed on the roster. They're a little frail at AV8+, and they're weak at strength 2. But that's a lot of speed that he can leverage. He's losing one of his 2 blitzers, doesn't have a lot of block on this roster early on. He'll have to take that into account. The low strength and the low number of block players means he needs to be a little bit careful being the bashy team. Might want to play as a little bit more of an edge team. Use his speed to hunt down those 2 ball carriers, the ghoul and the werewolf. If he can room them pitch, he'll be in really good shape. Otherwise, it's all about caging up that ball, moving it down pitch. We'll probably have to leverage the ogre for that since he's down so many blitzers. But he's got a couple of options, right? He can throw those catchers out there. He can a ton of speed. You can see the team name is Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan. These are wannabe gutter runners. So we'll see how he fares with this team going all in on the catchers and being out a blitzer, getting nothing in the inducement phase. So it's all going to come down to the strength of the rosters between these 2 teams. Again, this Necro team, they're really the bashy team in this matchup. But if they lose their 2 ball carriers, it's kind of like a lizard team. You lose your skinks, what do? There's nothing you can do to score. All right, I'm going to head over to Discord to see if these 2 coaches are ready to go. We'll get game 2 of 3 underway momentarily. Waiting for the game to begin. Welcome everyone to the stream. Thanks for hanging out. Hank the Ranger says, "Do not die." That's what SBB's question was. What is the halfling's role against Necro? Do not die. Ajax the Riot says 1 turn or foul player. Yeah, that's absolutely an option as well. You can. So the halfling. Remember, the halfling stunty has the dodge skill. Halfling's great at getting into position for an assist. It's great for the 1-turn touchdown, of course, on the fling fling. It's also great for a foul. It's a cheap player that you can feel comfortable fouling with. Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan to set up their defense to start the game. Not sure who won the kick, but clear skies for this game. So Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan are going to have, almost certainly going to have the catchers in the secondary. You can see the 2 cornerbacks here are catchers. Has 2 catchers back here as, we'll call those safeties. Ogre just behind the line in the middle linebacker position. Fake Rolex and GoBots are going to be the outer linebackers. So 5 in the secondary currently. Has the halfling on the pitch. That's all 11 players. So the halfling is one of these 3 safeties. And now the Goodest boys strike back on offense. 3 rerolls for the human team. That's where you want to be, I think. 2 for the Goodest boys strike back. Remember to keep an eye on the werewolf and the ghoul. These are the 2 ball carriers on this roster. Five currently on the line for this offense. 2 wide in the Wraiths. Remember, they have no hands. They cannot be ball carriers. Very forward with this offense. Pug Johnson, the ghoul runner, back to receive. Shallow kick by the Goodest boys. We'll see if it's a touchback or not. It's a 3/8 chance that this will be a touchback, and then he can put it in the hands of the ghoul runner. If not, it's going to be a scramble of this ball here on turn 1. Moving the zombie forward. William could potentially catch this ball. Here's the kick. 1 space back, that's a touchback. So that'll go in the hands of Pug Johnson, the number 7 ghoul runner. We'll get this game underway. Quick snap allows you to move D3 plus 3 players 1 space, provided they're not marked. Rolled a 1 on the D3. That was 4 players to move. So you can see he starts the turn with the 2 Wraiths across the line of scrimmage, move them 1 space forward. We'll be able to get 2 blocks out of this now on either catcher. 2-die block on the left side will get the knockdown here. Doesn't break armor. Gets a push. On the right cornerback here. Now 2-die block on the line of scrimmage. That is a both down result unless a reroll is spent. It is. It's going to be a push. The Goodest boys with 1 reroll left for the half. This is the problem with when you're at low TV and you don't have players with block. On my human teams, I favor the blitzers for precisely that reason. I want as much block out of the gate as I can get. 2-die block gets a pal here, breaks armor. The Necro team, of course, doesn't really have that have much of an option there regarding the block skill, that is. Block's taken on the line. Still has a blitz available. Might be a werewolf blitz, but the werewolf will have to follow up. Remember, that's how frenzy works. You get a push on the first block, you must follow up and take a second block. You must always follow up on your blocks. 2-die blitz gets the pal here. Breaks armor. Hunting these catchers. As we talked about in the pregame, these catchers very frail, very weak. Soul Gamer Mike going after them, trying to get them off the pitch. Got an armor break there, got a stun on I can't believe it's not butter. Now the goal runner is going to move forward to the 6-yard line into the left wide zone. Turn 1 to Imitation, Skaven and Nathan. Two-die block on Flanders over on the right side of the line here. Gets a pal. Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan. So they don't have an apothecary. They have a necromancer. So if they kill anyone on this human team other than the ogre or the halfling, that player will rise from the dead to play for the necro team. And mechanically speaking, that just means they get a new zombie with the same name as the old player. Two-die blitz by Mr. Pibb. The ogre breaks armor. That would break armor, all right. Hunting the werewolf. That's the name of the game for this human team. Going after the werewolf, looking for the ghoul as well. Got a stun on the werewolf. Might even try to, well, doesn't have the halfling in position. Would probably want to foul with the halfling. We'll see if he risks a foul with a catcher. Failed 3+ dodge. Spends a reroll. I'm sorry, got the free reroll with the dodge skill. Marks the ball carrier with Beyond Meat, the number 5 catcher. He was the left cornerback. Could foul with pleather. Probably won't. Who's in for the 2 die? Oh, it's a 1 die. He's marked here and here. 1 die block on tibia gets a push. Turn 2 to the Goodest boys. Blitz on the catcher. 2 die blitz. Gets a dodge push out of this. So the catcher will probably still mark. No, catcher's going to move 1 space to the left. I forgot that's dodge, not sidestep. Could go for a surf here. Could bring the Skelly Man in here. Well, Skelly Man would go 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Then he could blitz with the ball carrier to surf the catcher. No. This. Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. He already blitzed. Good call. Speaking of, there are 4 once per turn actions you get in the game of Blood Bowl. So every time you activate a player, everyone can move, everyone can block, but only 1 person can blitz. Once you've blitzed with a person, you can't blitz anymore that turn. The same goes for fouling, passing, and handing off. Throw teammate counts as your pass as well. So once you've thrown the ball during your turn, you can't throw it anymore. But you can certainly hand off and pass in the same turn. And that's a way to get to move a large amount of distance in 1 turn. Turn 2 for Imitation Skaven and Nathan. They're on defense currently. Probably see this turn end with Beyond Meat trying to dodge away off the sideline. Two-die block against Olna, the number 9 zombie lineman, gets double pals out of this. 8+ breaks armor with Mighty Blow. There's the armor break. Gets a stun. Human sound effects. Did I block against Raish? Gets a knockdown here. Those are cool dice. Both teams a little spread out here. This Necro team spread pretty thin. Imitation Skaven and Nathan. 3 catchers in front of the ball carrier. Nathan's going to dodge successfully to move back with that catcher contingent as well. And there's that dodge attempt. Fails the dodge, but that's all right. He's going to remain prone. He's not going to get surfed. Turn 3 now for the Goodest boys strike back. Electric Man says human sound effects are accurate. That's how I sound when I get up. Oh no! Oh no, has to re-roll this, gets the knockdown, but now the Goodest boys with no re-rolls left for the half. So moves the werewolf to mark this catcher. Once they keep this catcher in place, does this mean the ball's moving back to the left? We'll see. 2-die block against GoBots. The number 2 thrower gets a push out of this. Plastic Tree's going to get knocked down by Tosa Smith. Looking for a 9+ here. And now 2-die on fake Rolex is going to be a push. So fake Rolex pushing a position. He's marked on 2 orthogonal sides. That means any opportunity to get away is going to be a -1. Basically locks that player out of the drive. Wow, that was really fast. That was a fast animation. 2-3 for Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan. They move, I can't believe it's not butter, into position to get a 2-die block. Gets a push out of this. I am so disappointed with those cookies. Those Chips Ahoy cookies are so terrible. And there's like 100 of them. I mean, maybe not 100, but I know what I'm gonna do with them. I'm gonna take them to my game nights and just leave them there. Oh, they're terrible. But if someone else can enjoy them, then good for them. Fails the boneheaded roll with the Ogre. Ogre's going to remain prone. The Ogre's nega trait. Most big guys in the game of Blood Bowl, the vast majority have a nega trait. And for the Ogres, that's boneheaded. They roll a d6 before they take their activation. If they roll a 1, they lose their activation and lose their tackle zones until they succeed the boneheaded roll in a future turn. 2-die block gets a pal here against Tosa Smith. Stands firm but gets knocked down. No armor break. Moop says a couple of rushes and a 3+ dodge for a 2-die on the ball. Ajax the Riot says Bonehead strikes again. Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan on the bonus clock for the first time in this game. Really playing the part of the oppressor here, they're keeping this offense locked down tight. Bonehead, this is the destroyer of dreams. 2-die block against fake Rolex. It's a both standing result thanks to the block skill. If you have the block skill, you treat the both down result as if it doesn't affect you. So if both players have the block skill, they both remain standing. Now a knockout on fake Rolex, this time by Flanders, the number 14 lineman. And a 2-die block on the number 3 catchers, only a push. Remember, the catchers only have an AV of 8+, as opposed to the blitzers who have a 9+, as opposed to most of the other team, in fact. Or most of the other players, I should say. 2-die block on GoBots. This will be a knockdown. Chooses to go with the defender stumbles result. Ooh, gets a stun out of it. If he chose the both down result and say had the block skill himself, that's the one time where you don't actually push the player back on a block. They'll actually be knocked down and stay in place. Seems the crazy win from today is over. I'm gonna have to check my trash cans. I have my trash cans bungee corded so that they don't blow away in the wind. Frenzy follow-up after the push. Gets pushed again. Quad pushes here with Sam Corgerton. Had to follow up there, so we'll see if Wenger can make a block happen on the werewolf. And then moves the Wraith into position, trying to keep this catcher out of the drive. And now we finally see this ball move into the left wide zone with the opposing 10-yard line now. Final turn of the first quarter coming up. Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan on defense. They have all three of their rerolls remaining. They've picked apart this offense fairly well. Now it's just a matter of getting onto the ball. Two-die block on Tosa Smith will be the first step in trying to make that happen. Got the knockdown. Has a two-die against Femur. Ball carrier currently in scoring position. There's the two-die against Femur, gets the knockdown. Currently 8 spaces away from the end zone. It's one rush currently. One die block on Sam Corgerton currently. Taking the blitz. One die blitz on Alna. It's going to be a push result. Decides to follow up. So no blitz on the ball carrier. Who's left to actually mark the ball carrier? Looks like it's going to have to be a dodge here by the catcher. Successful dodge. Gets in front of the ball carrier. So that's tackle zones here. And now tackle zones here. But that means if the ball carrier moves here, currently that's a positive dodge here. It can be a little tricky for new players to the game, but a dodge is triggered when you leave an opposing tackle zone, not when you enter it. However, the negative modifiers apply to when you enter a space. So if you leave a space, say here, right? All right. Oh, no, KO'd on the dodge. That'll be a turnover. They're not leaving a space with opposing tackle zones, so this is not a dodge. But now they'll be in opposing tackle zones, so this would be a dodge. If it wasn't for this positioning here, this would have been a positive dodge, meaning there'd be no negative modifiers applied to the dodge going in this direction. Now there'll be one. Second quarter begins here for the Goodest boys. Strike back. They're on offense. They have the ball on the opposing 10-yard line in the left wide zone with Pug Johnson, the rookie ghoul runner, all by his lonesome. Two-die block on Nathan, the halfling hopeful, is going to be a push, but now he's going to get knocked down. 7+ breaks armor. There it is. There it is. Sorry, Nathan. Sorry, buddy. Almost spent on Nathan. Nathan the hero. We can't live without Nathan. He's in the name. Two-man player advantage for the Goodest boys. Can they make it a 3 here? They can. 3-man player advantage on the knockout. Well done. Two-die block on Mr. Pibb. This will be a push. But now Mr. Pibb marking the ball carrier. So now this is a dodge. Now the only positive dodges are here and here. Gonna try to clear the sideline here. Gets a push. It's all he needs here with the blitz. Will follow up. And now it's a dodge to a rush to score. We'll see if the Goodest boys are going to attempt to do that here or not. Failed the dodge. Has to get the free reroll with the dodge skill. Oh no! And the ball goes out of bounds. Oh, tough break there. Pushed the ogre into marking the ball carrier. The ball carrier then failed the 3+ dodge. The ball then bounced out of bounds and gets thrown back into the right wide zone. And now Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan have an opportunity to recover the ball. You can see Beyond Meat, the number 5 catcher, he's going to be the scoring threat. A whole quarter to play here for the defense. Had that block not pushed the ogre into position, that would have been just a 2+ dodge to score. Oh, I'm sorry, 2+ rush to score. The ogre tripped that goal as revenge for Nathan. Blitz by the blitzer. Fake Rolex. Blitzes away Liam? I'm going to go with Liam. Good pickup by Pleather, the number 4 catcher. Going to get a protective screen on the ball carrier. Fastest piece on the board for this human team. That's catcher, an MA of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Doesn't even need to rush to become adjacent to Beyond Meat. Electrics Man says, Mr. Pibb should have stayed in school. He could have been a Dr. Pepper. He could have, but sadly, he's a boneheaded ogre instead. He made his life choices. Here he goes. So he goes boneheaded. That frees up Richard, Mastiff, and Tibia now. They are no longer marked by the ogre. Good 3+ dodge by the journeyman, Volker. So the protective screen extends to here. There's a little bit of a gap here. And Tosa Smith's gonna take advantage of that gap. Gets in front of the ball carrier currently. And now here's the blitz. 2-die blitz. Gets a pal and fake Rolex. Will follow up and mark the ball carrier here as well. Knockdown, but no armor break on the thrower. Takes another mark on the ball carrier, but it's still not 2+. It's a 3+ away in this direction. Trying to stop the free handoff here. That's really the goal of the Goodest boys. Still a pretty big gap here. See that block of Mr. Pibb. That is going to be a both down result. No trade. Turn 6 now for Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan. Mr. Pibb stays boneheaded. But that's an important. Ooh, failed the dodge here. Gets a free reroll. So no handoff. He's going to move the ball down, pitch to the opposing 8-yard line. Beyond Meat probably comes in to help protect the ball carrier. Might come in for the assist on Femur. Moop says the ogre is still so chuffed with himself for tripping the ghoul he's forgotten the game is still going. But this is important sort of note, especially for new players to the game. Wenger by no means a new player to the game, but your big guys, when they have their nega traits, you've really got to make a decision. Do I activate them this turn or not? If you're going to activate them, at least my perspective is, I have my ogre, strength 5, mighty blow. That's really cool. If I activate him and everything goes wrong, he goes boneheaded, or maybe worse, it's a turnover with skulls. Is my formation ruined, or is my plan, is my strategy ruined? If it is, probably not worth it to take the block. Or is this ogre a key piece in my formation, right? Are they my pivot? Are they holding down the fort? Are they part of my screen? And if they are, and they go down, right, or they go boneheaded, am I screwed? If the answer is yes, I probably don't want to take an action with them, because I don't want to risk failing that roll. And when you fail the boneheaded roll, you may say, well, I'll re-roll it, but remember, they're loners, so there's a 50-50 shot you even get to re-roll it in the first place. Turn 7 for the Goodest boys strike back. Trying to stop the score, but I'm not sure how they're going to do it. Lots of protection on the ball carrier right now. They're currently in scoring position by one rush. Those double skulls, so they're going to hang outside. Now they're going to rush to score. Failed the first rush roll. Going to spend the re-roll here. And they got it. Well done. 1-0. Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan get on the board. Very well done. Good defensive score by the human team. The Necro team is going to get another chance to get on the board here in the fair. Oh, I love these guys. Hey! Very dirty, though, I must say. That is a very dirty costume. So the human team going to reset up their defense here. That's Nathan in the mascot costume. One turn left in the half, unless there is a timeout. So 3 will go on the line for Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan. That'll be the Journeyman and 2 others. Looks like it's going to be the Blitzer, a lineman, and Volker the Journeyman. So the Werewolf with an MA of 8 with 3 pushes could conceivably one turn. I don't know how that would work. Well, the Werewolf gone on the line in the left wide zone. Ghoul back to receive. Here's the kick. It's an officious ref. Who doesn't he like? He doesn't like Pleather. Pleather's stunned. Oh, there's no space here. So this will be the final turn of the... well, there's a turn 8 for both teams, but... Final turn of the first quarter. Nothing to do for the Goodest boys to strike back other than to gain some SPP. So they'll try to get some Kaz SPP here, and barring that, or even in addition to that, they're going to try to pick this ball up and get a point of SPP on Pug Johnson on the throw. No one likes Pleather. 2-9 block on Almond Milk. He's the left defensive end. Gets a push out of this. Still has 2 more blocks on the line. Here's the first one. Another push, this time on fake Rolex. 1 more block and a blitz. 2-die block on the nose tackle. Gets a pal here. Looking for a 9+. Doesn't get anything out of this. Still has the blitz. Probably blitzes almond milk, I would wager. The werewolf will come in here, blitz almond milk. It's 2 blitzes, or 2 blocks here. If the first one doesn't work out, but it will. So it's an 8+ with claw to break armor here. No armor break. So no SVP on the blocks, ignore the blitz. And that'll be a pass to Sam Corgerton here for a point of SVP on Pug Johnson. But failed the pickup. So no SVP in turn 8 for the Goodest boys. Final turn of the first half here for Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan. We'll see what they try to do here. Nothing. Going for nothing. 1-0 the score. Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan will be on offense to start the second half. They're in the lead currently. Coming up after this game, scheduled for 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's UTC -5, so a little under an hour from now will be our final game of the triple header this evening. We're going to have the Pip Stars versus the Disco Mancers, Dead Fred versus Ian, Lizards versus Necro. The Pip Stars, of course, with the return of Pips Pippi, the all-star, the champion, the legend. We already saw Pips Pippi make an enormous play in week 1. We'll see how he'll do in week 2. Spire says boo. Electric Man says, I think they're rescheduling. Yeah, let me take a look at Discord. Yeah, you're right. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, so on Discord it looks like the win did get to one of the coaches. Totally understandable. The winds were crazy today here in the Mid-Atlantic. And so they're going to reschedule for tomorrow. So we might still catch that game tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. I'll put it on the schedule as a live game. But there's a game at 9:30. They're going to schedule for 10:30. We'll see how it plays out. Here's the kick. Oh no, was that a shallow kick and a blitz? Shallow kick and a blitz. 4 players get the move here. Roll a 1 on the D3. Can this defense recover the ball? So 5 on the line for the offense, but they are shifted hard to the right. They're going to try to blitz. I can't believe it's not Bludder. Bludder is what you would have in Blood Bowl. Here's the blitz. 2-die blitz. Gets a push. Can't use any rerolls here because it's not his turn, but got a pal. Can't use any team rerolls. Breaks armor. Huge armor break. And now we'll see if somebody will come in on this ball or not. Werewolf's going to mark the ball. The ghoul put, ooh, what a scary spot to be. Could get under this ball right here. Boot Polish says, I love Duffel. 2 marks on the ball now. The Wraith comes in to mark the ball in the back square here. Well, it's going to bounce 1 space to the left, so didn't try to get anybody under the ball. Didn't want to risk the ghoul. The ball ends up one space to the left. That's scary because that could have risked a turnover, or not a turnover, a touchback as well. That ball could have been automatically brought out for safety, but now it is on the 2-yard line, already marked by the defense. Exactly right. Move says this is where the humans pray for a touchback. And not. Turn 9 now for Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan. They're in the lead. They have a full complement of 3 rerolls, but they've already got to fight for this ball right from the jump. Two-die blitz on the werewolf, gets the knockout, breaks armor, big armor break, knocks him onto the ball and pushes this ball one space back across the line of scrimmage to the opposing 2-yard line. Still has a space of movement left with the thrower. Doesn't move. Gets a pal on the block against the Wraith. Tessum, the number 6 Wraith here, looking for a 9+. Oh, boneheaded ogre in the right wide zone again. This ogre is so dumb. That's going to open up the sideline if this defense wants to take it. I imagine they won't. Two-die block on Richard Mastiff gets a push. With both standing result, he could stay put if he chooses to, and indeed he does. Stand Firm says that if you get pushed back on a block, you don't actually have to get pushed back. And it's an optional skill. Most skills are optional unless they say otherwise. Frenzy is one of the skills that is not optional. Move says, does he know it's a new half? Turn 9 for the Goodest boys strike back. Goodest boys with an opportunity to recover this ball here. It's currently marked by the halfling, Nathan himself. That's why he's still on the pitch. I mean, look at that. Look at that head protection. It's all about head protection. Blitz on Nathan, got the pal. You're not going to remove him from the pitch. Not with that helmet, you're not. Okay, maybe you will. Nathan removed from the pitch. Oh my. Now this defense in pretty good shape. They have a 2-die block on number 10. The last remaining lineman here in these 7 squares on the line of scrimmage gets a push out of this. Gets a 2-die block now with femur. And again is a push. Elder Marina says, go Skaven! Go humans? Two-die block with Richard Mastiff gets a push on Beyond Meat. Remember, the push result on the die, it's the only result, it's the only face that has, it's the only result that has more than one face on the die. The push result eats up 2 of the 6 spaces on the die. 3+ pickup, fails the pickup, will probably spend the reroll here. Didn't do it, didn't spend the reroll. And that ball is going to end up 1 space to the left, just inside the left wide zone on the 2-yard, on the Goodest boys' own 2-yard line. Turn 10 now for Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan. So all my curtains in my house are blackout curtains. And when the power went out, it was pitch black. There was nothing. You could see nothing. That's a lesson learned. Humans repositioning to try to get in on this ball. Oh, spends the reroll on the Journeyman. Got through the loner roll, but only got a push out of this. Really needed to keep the drive alive here. Was able to do so. Good dodge on the left side, trying to mark the ball now, marking it with two catchers. Fake Rolex. Gets the knockdown on Richard Mastiff way over in the right wide zone. Elden Ruda says, I know if power goes out because all of the UPSs start beeping. Yeah, me too. I was trying to play a video game, and my power went out something like 4 times in 5 minutes. Like, would just go out and go back, come back on, and go out and come back on. It was so obnoxious. And then I have about an hour of backup time for my computer, and maybe 30. It might be less than 30 minutes now, but about 30 minutes in the living room with my, all that stuff in the living room. And then everything else is long enough that I don't know how much, like the router and all the network equipment and stuff. Got another removal here. 3 removals for the Goodest boys. They are the Bashy team in this matchup. Although I did notice I didn't have my, so I have a local DNS resolver, and I didn't have that on the UPS. And when the power goes out for a long enough amount, Welcome to the team! Welcome to the team, Pleather! That's what we were talking about prior to the game. The Necromancer at work. Killed Pleather, the number 4 catcher, and now he's playing for the Goodest boys. There he is. SB Beaver, thank you very much for the bits. But the DNS resolver, right? So when the time, so the way it works is a 3-die blitz here by Sam Corkington gets a knockdown. Another removal, my goodness! I know they're the Bashy team, but 5 removed now. 6 removed. I'm sorry, I forgot about Pleather. What do they have? He had 12 on the roster, right? So 6 more. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6 left on the pitch for the human team. Anyway, the way it works is when the device shuts down or turns off or whatever, it saves the time basically in a flat file, a text file, so that when it spins back up, it uses that time to reset its clock. But if the time, so a DNS resolver, without getting into boring details, it's how you resolve like google.com to an IP address. But I don't use my ISP's DNS servers. I use my own because I can block ads with it that way since it's my own. But anyway, so if the power goes out for a long amount of time, when it spins back up, it will check the time that it's saved and then try to reconcile that with now. And if it's too far out of sync, what happens is part of the DNS spec, again, it doesn't matter what the details are, but they need to get the time from what's called an NTP server. But if it's too far out of sync, it can't actually resolve the DNS. And so it can't get the time, and then the DNS server doesn't work. And then even when power comes back on, I can't access the internet until I switch over the DNS server to something else, like Quad9 or Google or something. Or until I just SSH into the DNS resolver and update NTP manually. Point is, it's obnoxious and I always forget about it. Old Gamer Mike, thank you very much for the bits. I appreciate it. Ball in the hands of Flanders now. So a defensive touchdown in the first half of the game. And now the defense in possession of the ball here in the second half of the game. Boob says, first Flanders kills a man, then he catches the ball. What an MVP zombie. Failed 3+ dodge here. Spends a reroll. Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan down to 1 reroll, and they'll have to spend it right here on the double skulls. They got a pal on Tessum, the number 6 Wraith, who will probably sidestep toward the ball. That's exactly what he does. Elden Marina says it's a simple solution. Just build your own atomic clock and run your own NTP server. Yep. There is you can buy a little device. It's cheap enough now where it'll keep the clock running all the time. I'm just lazy. Maybe it's the opposite of lazy because I gotta go in and fix it. Turn 11 now for the Goodest Boys strike back. Marking players first with the rolling dice. Good action order here. Gets a push on the first block with the werewolf. This is going to be a 1-die follow-up. He gets another push. I have to be careful of frenzy traps. I wouldn't necessarily call that a trap. I think Old Gamer Mike knew exactly what was going on there. 2-die block over in the left, in the left wide zone. Trying to clear this ball carrier as best as possible. Blitz still on the table. Marked by one more player. I can't believe it's not Butter. Here's the blitz. 3-die blitz gets a pow. Looking for a 9+ here. Oh, good armor break too. Gets a stun out of this. Huge armor break. The zombie only has an MA of 4. I imagine he wants to hand it off to Pug Johnson. Or at least attempt to. He has 2 rerolls. Yep, here it is. Here's the handoff attempt. Works out like a pro, like a champion. Flanders gets the ball in the hands of Pug Johnson. Pug Johnson now with an MA of 7 is going to skedaddle all the way over into the right wide zone. Turn 12 now for Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan. They have 6 on the pitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the pitch. And that is an unfortunate double skull turnover. Null turn for the human team. Final turn of the third quarter. The Goodest Boys strike back. They're going to move down pitch to the 18-yard line. Fake Rolex still a threat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be a rush blitz with Gollum, but he doesn't need it. You can bring the Gollum in and just take the block with Tibia. Repositioning players, right? You want to get in between where your opponent is and where the ball carrier is. That's exactly what he did with the Wraith there. 2-die block works out with the block skill here. He's going to get a knockdown on Mr. Pibb. Breaks armor! Gets a stun. My goodness. Human team is collapsing now. Here's the assist. 2-die block on Fake Rolex. Fake Rolex does have the block skill, though. Going to take it with the werewolf. in the rush. Gets the knockdown. Really needed that, or else I would have to rush again. Remember, Frenzy forces you to follow up, and if your second follow-up means that's your second rush, or even your first rush, you've got to roll that rush die. Turn 13 now for Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan. They have lost all ability to get to this ball carrier. Not all ability. They have silicone and saline, it looks like. Spire says foul. Man, I would score. I would score. Going for the blitz. There it is. The uphill blitz. Gets a dodge push out of it. He'll push him onto the sideline here. He went for it with silicone and saline. And now he's going to lock that player down on the sideline. Let's hope this sticks. Well, let's hope for Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan it sticks. Certainly not for old gamer Mike. Dodge, rush, uphill blitz works out. Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan desperately trying to win this game. They're in the lead right now. Even if this score gets into the end zone, they'll have plenty of time to score, provided that the Necro team scores on turn 13. Turn 13 for the Goodest boys. Had a great drive so far, and now they've gotten themselves locked down on the sideline. Still have 2 rerolls. Two-die block with the werewolf gets a pow against GoBots. Oh, breaks armor on GoBots, but he's going to remain on the pitch. So decided not to dodge the werewolf away to get the blitz on the catcher, or even the mark on the catcher, so that the ghoul runner can get the well, I guess he's got the 2-die. He's fine. He still has the 2-die. He's totally fine. Elder Marina says, dude, I have that one. Me too. He's awesome. He's great. Locking some players down. I have to imagine the Goodest boys want to score on this turn. They're not going to be safe otherwise. We'll see what happens. Here's the blitz. 2-die blitz. Got the pal. It's all he needed. We'll see if he walks the ball in on this turn. There it is. 1-1 the score. Well done by the Goodest boys. Strike back, tying this ball game up. A little less than a quarter left for this human team to try to win this game. We'll see if they pull it out. That looks delicious. Elder Bruno says, I love the Super GoBots. I have one Super GoBot, Bug Bite, and it broke. Like, the metal broke, like a weld broke. So I actually had to, I welded it back together. I wouldn't say it's good as new, but it's good as not broken. Oh, wow, that's awesome. I have, I've already forgotten his name. I have the GoBot Combiner. Puzzler? I think it was Puzzler. Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan receiving the ball on the kick. Deep kick. Each team gives a free bribe for these final 3 turns. Human team strong on the right side. Ogre's going to move downfield. Mr. Pibb to mark Alna. Here's the 2-die blitz on Alna with the blitzer. Gets the knockdown. He's gonna try to shore up the right sideline. This is a great stun. Probably moves the blitzer down pitch. Melody Marina says I didn't have that one. I do have all the Constructicons though. I do have the Constructicons. I have the Constructicons. They did a reissue a few years back with yellow Constructicons, but they're branded with Tonka. They call it Tonkanator. Good pass to, I can't believe it's not Butter on the short pass, just outside of quick pass range. And gets this ball to the opposing 10-yard line. Very well done. Galeshi, welcome to the stream. Galeshi says, came in late. How's the game been? It's been great. Both games tonight have been great. Now fills in the screen on the ball carrier. Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan trying to win this game. They take a mark on Richard Mastiff as well. But yeah, so I have Tonkanator, which is a yellow Devastator. I have a bunch of... so I have the G1 Devastator. I have the biggest one they made was one in a series called Combiner Wars. I have that one, and they're coming out with new ones as we speak, that are going to be in scale with the new Menasor, the new Superion they're making. So it's a lot of fun. It's a good time. It's a good time to play with toys. Werewolf trying to... Oh, going for the catcher only. All right, going for the catcher. Sorry, the blitzer, rather. Trying to surf the blitzer, gets the POW. Well done. This werewolf is going to try to get in a position. Oh, get in the position here. Man, the crowd having none of it. And marks the ball carrier. So only 4 off the pitch now in this drive for this human team. The Tonkanator was a Target exclusive, and it was like $100-some when it released, and I was like, no. I ended up getting it from my friendly local toy store maybe a year or 2 ago for like $50. I was like, perfect. It was completely new in the box. It was perfect. Moop says that Ogre really needs to not bonehead next turn. Yep. Yes, he needs to not do that. 3-die block on Nathan, the halfling. Gets a POW here. 7+ breaks armor. Didn't follow up. Didn't mark the Ogre. Oh, was it both? No, it was a POW. Here it is, Ogre Blitz. 2-die blitz. Gets the knockdown on the number 5 Wraith. Ogre breaks armor. That Wraith off the pitch would have been out of the game effectively one way or another. It's now a 2-die block against the werewolf. Gets a push. That's fine. I'll push him inside. Now what? Now what? That's it! That's what! No problem! Easy peasy, 4+4+3+, of course! Of course! 2-1, Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan take back the lead! Holy moly! Human has a tail, I saw it. Wow! Oh! Cobblestone, welcome to the stream. Cobblestone says, just rat things. So 2 turns left for the Goodest boys. Are they going to be able to get on the board here? They have 2 turns left. That's certainly enough time to tie up this ball game. My word. What a score. Eight on the pitch for Imitation Skaven and Nathan. 3 on the line, as you must do. 5 all the way back on the 16-yard line. All 11 on the pitch here for the Goodest boys. Pug Johnson back to receive. Here's the kick. Werewolf on the line in the left wide zone. Deep kick. Deep kick. Imitation Skaven and Nathan on the kickoff event get back a reroll. They're up to 1. It's going to have to be a handoff and or a pass this turn. Well, it's not going to be a handoff. It's going to have to be a pass and or a handoff. Werewolf has MA of 8. 2 rushes is 10. There's 13 spaces from the line of scrimmage to the end zone. So that Werewolf is going to have to end up on the 6 at least. Rube says crazy things happen, but that looks like it for the Necro team. Seems really hard for them to score with that kick. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Very good kick for Imitation Skaven and Nathan. I don't know if that was intentional or not. I would have just kicked it dead center and just hoped it was not a touchback. Moving the offensive team way down pitch to try to get a little bit of protection on this Werewolf who needs to move forward. Gonna pick the ball up first. Oh, good pickup. 2 rushes. This is gonna be a long pass. Roll of 5, but you know what? I was gonna say, you know what? That's okay. No, it's not. So that will be it. There's no way for the Goodest boys to score. Really needed to get this Werewolf down pitch first. So if the Werewolf could end up here, maybe even a little further, then you go for the pass. Then maybe the ball ends up here or something, and then you can try to get it in the hands of the Werewolf. Imitation Skaven and Nathan with the bold play in the previous drive. They're going to win this one 2-1. Moving back some players just to keep them safe. Nathan running to the sideline to celebrate. Celebrating with his people. Right in front of the camera, too. That show off. What a show off. Final turn of the game. Turn 16 for the Goodest boys. No way to score here. They'll try to block down Mr. Pibb. Four assists on the block. Here we go. 2-die blitz. Gets a push out of this to a 2-die follow-up. Gets another push. He'll spend the re-roll here. Got the pal. Looking for the big... Oh, it needs an 8+ to break armor of Mr. Pibb. It doesn't get it. And it looks like... Well, no, he'll try to pass for some SPP. He advanced forward. He's not thinking of fouling, is he? The old GG foul. If he's going to foul, he's got 3 assists currently, but going to try to pass this ball for some SPP. Who's he going to try to pass to? That's a pretty good pass. That's the game. 2-1. This human team wins it. Well done. Holy moly. And with that, Imitation, Skaven, and Nathan pick up their first win of the season here in week number 2 of the Chaos Cup. They're going to move up, bump themselves up into 4th place with a record of 1-0-1. That was a lot of fun. My goodness. What a way to win. All right, we'll take a look at the schedule before we leave for the evening. Coming up tomorrow, Monday, February 17th, starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's UTC -5. We're going to have a triple header. We were going to have one tonight, but the weather had something else to say about that, so we'll have it tomorrow night. We're going to get the evening started with Odin and Snuffle versus Nerdstrom's Nose Count, Clyphis versus War Horseman. That's a Norse mirror match at 8 o'clock p.m. EST tomorrow night. And then at 9:30 p.m., we have Wooden Men and Iron Trees versus Philosopher's Song, S Beaver versus Spire. That is Wood Elves versus Lizards. And then we have the Pipstars versus the Disco Masters, Dead Fred versus Ian at 10:30 p.m. That will be Lizards versus Necro. 3 fun games to watch. Then after that, on Tuesday, we have a doubleheader starting at 7:30 p.m. We have Tizork Savage Boys versus the NC Snakes. And that's going to be Orcs versus Dark Elves. And then we have the Dinner Bell Darlings versus As Bad As Raiders. That's Doug the Minotaur's Dwarven team versus Electric Man's Undead team. That'll be a bashy game, a fun one to watch as well. And that'll be it for week 2. We have one more game left to schedule. And when that game gets scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to the schedule on our website at maml.club. That's MAML.CLUB. Here on Twitch, or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, X, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, man. This game's a lot of fun. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store. Until tomorrow night at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Play Blood Bowl!